This was a trade I couldn't say no to. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. You guys thought I got hosed in my last trade, but you seemed to enjoy that episode, so I thought we would do it again with a little trade I was offered for this guitar over here. So in case you missed the last trade episode, it was an ES335 Studio in the Cosmic Stew finish. How did I do on that? Well, I listed it for a high price, but I took a lower offer, and basically I got what I wanted out of that Les Paul plus a couple $100 to make it worth my time. So in the end, it was a win-win, although most of you said you would have kept the Bird's Eye Les Paul standard. But this time I'm trading for a custom shop Fender? Let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. Not looking so good so far. How does that even happen? The whole handle is just flattened. Like, it doesn't feel like damage. It just feels like Fender didn't make that very well. It's either that or it is a crushable material, but okay, let's get this thing open. No more waiting. Inside here sleeps the guitar I couldn't say no to because it's a Nocaster. I love Fender Nocasters. So, quick little history here. Did you know the Telecaster actually had a bunch of different names when it was first introduced? The Broadcaster, but then Gretsch had some issues with that, so Leo Fender just clipped off our little decal that said Broadcaster on it, and it just said Fender for a while. And that is exactly what we have a reissue of here. And then they thought, hey, let's call it Telecaster, and that's what it's been ever since. So it was just a couple of years ago that we did a whole bunch of reviews and demos on an anniversary model of the Broadcaster. But out of every single vintage Fender ever out there, I think I would want to own the Nocaster the most just because I love that fan-given name. Nocaster. Couldn't say no. But if you're in the market for a Nocaster, honestly, it's really confusing because they have so many different models. Like, let's check out Sweetwater's website. They've got a 52 Time Machine Relic Telecaster called Age Nocaster Blonde. That's not technically a Nocaster. And then they've got the 70th Anniversary Custom Shop Broadcaster. That's not exactly what we're looking at here. If you want the actual Nocaster name, you have to get the limited edition 51 Nocaster Relic, starting at $4,850, and then you can get the heavy Relic bad boy at $5,400. Now, there are a few small differences between those, like slightly higher wood quality, like one-piece body versus two. You get slightly better pickups. It's not just the aging. So this is the big expensive one. But let me tell you guys, brand new Fender custom shops, they don't hold value really well, like up to a certain point, but they depreciate a lot once you take them off that brand new shelf. But let's take a look at this thing. It's got lots of wear and tear, as I would expect on a heavy Relic guitar, but honestly, it feels pretty good, like a guitar that was just played. I mean, some of these have darker wood grain underneath it on the ash, other ones are a little bit lighter. This is one of the more light ones, but then we've got all this stuff going on the back. All things considered, it's actually fairly light. Like, holding it like this, I can tell the body weighs almost nothing. All the weight's in the neck on this guy. But then, hey, look at this. We get a little bit of flamed figuring within our headstock. And I suppose you should be able to get it a little bit on the back of the neck as well. But the neck, I wouldn't call it heavily flamed. The whole Relic job getting rid of the gloss nitro finish kind of dampens that effect a little bit. So I'm not sure if all of them have flamed necks or not. But hey, we kind of made it lucky on this. But let's check out our case candy. That's one cool thing about Fender custom shops is they get these giant leather-bound booklets that give you all the specs of the guitar straight from the shop floor, as well as your certificate of authenticity. So 50 years down the road, if you're confused what the heck you got, you can just figure it out right here. Then it also looks like we get a very nice leather strap that all the custom shops come with, and a little bit of warranty information, and of course our ashtray cover. So that's what I got. What is he getting? Honestly, I'm kind of sad to say goodbye to this guitar because I kind of viewed it as part of my collection, but at the same time, it wasn't like my favorite thing in my collection. But it's this bad boy. It's a custom shop edition Firebird 1. What made this one unique and fascinating is the fact that it has an ABR1 bridge and stop bar tailpiece, which is not normally a Firebird 1 spec. So if you've seen my other episodes, you know I'm a custom color 90s Firebird collector. You know, the very early 90s, they had some really cool stuff. So while this did fit in my collection, it just wasn't quite custom colory enough for me. But man, this is a beautiful example, and I've yet to see another one of these in clean shape. I know in that one Rock or Not episode, we saw one that was like routed with a Floyd Rose or something, but this is what he decided he wanted. Now he's going to upgrade this and like do other pickups and other things like that. So I hope he enjoys his new Firebird here. Both very cool guitars, but which one would you have picked? Would you have kept the Firebird 1, or would you have traded it for this custom shop Nocaster? Let me know down in the comments. That's just for fun, but let's go ahead and throw this guy on the workbench to continue our little review and demo here. Inside the Nocaster, let's check this out. So whenever Fender actually relics something, they stamp the guitar body. I didn't know that. It's probably just so nobody tries to pass this off as true vintage. But it says Relic right there underneath your pickguard. It says 51 Relic in our neck pickup cavity. Then we've got a whole bunch of markings in our bridge pickup cavity as well as a QR code. But here's our hand-wound pickups, custom shop, dated to February of 2020. So this one's a few years old. And similar markings on our bridge pickup here. But these pickups read 9.18 k ohms in the bridge position, the neck is 7.75, and the middle, just for fun, 4.27. And then the cool factor slash annoying factor about these vintage reissue Nocasters and Broadcasters is they do the slotted style screws for everything, so it's a real pain in the butt to take these things apart. But at least you know what screwdriver you need. As far as our control cavity, it's got some more markings here. 23890 faded NBL. I would assume that stands for Nocaster Blonde, something similar to that. But we've got another date right here, dating it to late February of 2020. You can see your capacitor and CTS pots here, and a USA-made switch. These are the extra knurled knobs too. I mean, they've got lots of grip. The serial number for these is found on the base plate. And we've got the brass saddles here with heavy duty springs. And here you can see where the strings go through the body as well as where the bridge secures to the guitar. The pickguard itself is quite interesting. It's got that wear area right here where they basically just scratched through the glossy layer. But when I was sighting the neck to make sure everything was good, I noticed, is that supposed to be bent up like that? Is that part of the aging process? I'm not familiar with the original ones if that's a thing, but it appears this one left the factory like that. It's kind of interesting. But here's what the backside of it looks like. And once again, this is a one-piece ash body that has been reliced. Now here's the thing with Fenders. You don't buy them reliced because it looks cool. That's a side effect for a lot of these. You buy it because it feels great to play. It feels slightly worn in, and it's mainly for the neck. So even if you don't love the way that this necessarily looks with the aging, still try one the next time you're at a shop. I think you'll be impressed. There's a reason why Fender sells so many of these relics. But moving on from our ash body, we have a straight up maple neck. The neck is also your fretboard, and they've pre-aged it here for us, trying to signify that somebody has played it a lot in the soloing areas as well as down here. And we've got a bone nut that measures 1.65 inches, and that increases to 2.03 by the 12th. That's a nice chunky neck. 0.97 at the first fret. That's thicker than I thought it was. And a full 1.01 by the 12th. It's very chunky, but yet it's almost slightly V'd in shape because it doesn't have a lot of shoulder to it. It's a very nice, comfortable feeling neck. Here's the neck at the first fret. You can see the V shape, and then it just kind of transitions more into a C shape by the 12th. But check the nut out. I love how they aged that. That's the first Relic guitar that I've seen that they aged the nut. And then of course we get our headstock here with the Fender logo, string tree, aging, flame, figuring, all that good stuff. And our truss rod cap, because you adjust the rod down here once you take your pickguard off. And yes, that's also a slotted style. Moving on to the backside. Again, we can see our slotted screws, but this is your tell that it's a modern day plate, having these don't throw it away stickers on it. But they've got all the aging back here, nice and gummied up. It's a really thin nitro finish. It feels pretty nice, and obviously you get all the cool wood grain to go along with it. And you got the wear on the edges, the sides. Barrel style output jack, strap buttons in our normal locations. You know what'd be kind of cool as an idea? Have a belly cut on a Telecaster, but hide it as just extreme wear from a belt buckle. Somebody link me that if they've ever done that before. If not, Ron Thorne, get on it. And this right here, Fender knows how to do this. I mean, it's a little bit abrupt of a line in my opinion, but basically you have the gloss in the areas that you don't necessarily care. It doesn't affect the feel and playability. But this is like just a really smooth satin finish, essentially. It just looks like a worn-in neck. And hey, wouldn't you know it, you got more slotted screws even for the tuners. I like how one screw is being used for 2 different tuners and they've been like chopped off. Here's our custom shop decal. And of course they aged up the headstock too. There you go. I told you it was light, 1 pound, 1.5 ounces. Nah, just kidding. It's 7.15. So just a little over 7 pounds. Let's go ahead, plug it in, and see how twangy it can get. Man, this is an angry telly. Like, if I knew some more lead licks, I mean, it's all just coming out of this thing. I just don't know how to play it all that well. Clean tones were all right. Nice single coil stuff. But it just gets downright nasty with the distortion. Pinch harmonics really just come off of this guitar real easily. But what's really freaky about this guitar is the tone control. I mean, here's a regular tone all the way on. Take it down to 0. I mean, it's just like completely gone. Most tones at 0 are usually like this. So you can really tame this guitar if you want to tame it. Now that we know all about this heavy Relic 2020 custom shop Nocaster, what are my final thoughts on this? Fantastic telly. I know it sounds crazy to spend quite this much money on a Telecaster when you've got other options, but you gotta remember, it's custom shop. You gotta pay for them to ding it up in Relic and make it feel as nice as it does. But I mean, regardless of how you feel about any of that, this is a fantastic telly. Love the pickups on this thing, love the feel. If that's what you're looking for, this is exactly what you want. I'm having a hard time finding something I don't like about this guitar. But if I had to choose something, I don't like the bendy pickguard, although it's probably just some historic spec that would make a true aficionado of the brand smile. But to me, I just feel like it might catch your pick if you're really going to town. Now, it didn't affect me, but somebody who's, gigging or something, it might. So I'll be sad to see this special Firebird go, but I am 100% happy with this trade. This is a better guitar for me. I like the bigger necks, and the reason why he was trading is he likes the slim necks. I mean, that's night and day difference. So it should be a win-win in this situation. Let me know, do you want me to keep trading stuff with people? It's not my preferred way to do business, but it's kind of like the Trade Tuesday series in a roundabout way, but just not necessarily with a goal. Just documenting the backside of the business, I guess. All right, Troglodytes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.